Right guys, Mr. H here. Last week we had some fairly big news drop and unfortunately I was away for the weekend so I didn't report on it, and with creating other videos and time restrictions I haven't had a chance to give my thoughts on it until now, so I do apologise. Friday of last week, Fandango released a report of an interview with director Ridley Scott. This was reported on by most outlets and most ran with what he said in a very literal sense. The interview itself was regarding Covenant and the franchise moving forwards. Ridley stated there will be another one before we kind of literally and logically clockwise back into the rear back head of Alien. Ridley was then asked about the timeline and he stated it will go Prometheus, Awakening, Covenant, fairly integral where this colonization ship is on the way. Waterston then cut Ridley off by saying, "You're giving away too much, but yes, there will be more after this." Ridley followed with, "If this is successful, and then the next one, and then there will definitely be 3 more." So everyone kind of began losing their minds, saying that not only was it confirmed that Alien Awakening will be the title for the next film, but also it would be a movie with the timeline set between Prometheus and Covenant. A few things to keep in mind about all of this news. Movie titles get changed constantly. How many names did Prometheus go through before finally arriving at, Prometheus? The quote itself seems quite contradictory. Ridley explains first that after Covenant there would be another movie before they go into the events of Alien. That quote in itself is discussing the timeline of the future movies. Then the following statement on names, it is quite possible that Ridley simply said these movies out of order, offhand, and I'll kind of explain why I think this is going to be the case. So storytelling out of a linear timeline will massively confuse people. If you're sat there watching this and thinking that's absolutely stupid, just think at the very least 50% of people are not aware there are 2 androids in Alien Covenant, and one of them is the very same David from Prometheus. So can you imagine if these same people have to go into the next movie and it being set between Prometheus and Covenant, their brains would literally melt, or they would have a seizure right there in the theatre. Also, not to mention, there is already an official and licensed prequel novel being released and written by Alan Dean Foster. This book is detailing the events of the 10 years between Prometheus and Covenant. Why, if this novel is official and canon, would they then double the storytelling efforts and make a movie of precisely the same events? And lastly, money talks. The first point I mentioned about non-linear storytelling and people being confused will have a massive impact on box office, and the movie studio Fox are a business first and foremost. They want a return on their millions of dollars of investment. Confusing the audience and telling a story that the hardcore fans would have read in the novel is not the best way to ensure a return on that investment. So do I like the name Awakening? I guess so. I like the fact that these prequel movies have been named after this ship the crew have been piloting. I'm not sure how I feel about a movie around the crew of the Awakening. That is, of course, unless they just change what the prequel names have been and go with whatever. Do I think it's going to be set between Prometheus and Covenant? No, genuinely not. And I know you guys might think I'm just trying to go against the grain here, but it just doesn't make sense. The quote is contradictory enough, but the official prequel novel is just a doubled story if they were to then make a movie as well. As with all things, I could be entirely wrong here, but I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think I have a point, or am I completely wrong? Let me know down below in the comments section, and if you did enjoy this video, then please consider leaving a like and subscribing if you're new to the channel. I cover the news, topics, and theories surrounding the Alien and Predator universes. I've been Mr. H, and until next time, I'll catch you in the comments section.